Unforgettable Student Stories. According to Reddit, number 13. I'm a professor, and I had a student who was a big dude, much older than the typical college students, maybe 40 years old, ex-military, very stoic. We did a simulation exercise during class where students had to make a decision about whether to race a car or withdraw from the race. Most students go forward with the race for a variety of reasons, but what they don't know is that this situation mirrors the decision that NASA made with the Challenger launch, which, for those who aren't aware, which, for those who aren't aware, obviously exploded. It was a tragedy. That was a space shuttle launch, for people who don't know. After the exercise, the students came up to me and started crying and said it was the most impactful exercise that he's ever done, and that I have hard days that I should remember that I made a difference for him. I almost started crying myself. It was a great moment in my career. Boy, what do you even say? What do you even do? The quality of what's being received by YouTube tonight is absolutely ridiculous. Part of me wants to believe that it could potentially be why would it compromise my upload speed? I'm not sure that it's my fault. It could just be either OBS or YouTube, but I'm going with YouTube this time. OBS has been pretty good for a considerable amount of time. Hello to everybody in the stream chat. Here's hoping you've been having an interesting day. Otaku Tony, Future Rachel, Linda Pistachio, and Paladin. Wow. Shout out to YNK, who has not hit me with what he's looking for in the way of a gift for the tree. But, he is the stream boss, so I just put a little honkler up there. Little honkler, okay? Honk, honk. Just for Clown World. What it is? What is it? Where is it? Don't say it. I can't even ask without thinking of Cotton Eye Joe. Ever. Pretty pathetic. Number 12. Not a teacher, but in my 5th grade math class, when my teacher called my name on the first day of school, she paused, lowered her glasses, and asked, "Are you my uncle's?" Well, basically the woman asked, "Are you this person's son?" And the person that was named was actually the person's uncle. I said no, and she gave a huge sigh of relief and said, "Oh, thank God." This was over 20 years ago. She had my uncle as a student. I told my dad about it later that day, and he laughed and said my uncle was a terror in elementary school. Now, how do you get crazy in elementary school, boy? You know what I mean? I can see you getting crazy in middle school. And to be honest, I'm probably one to talk. I think I got into a lot of fights at elementary school. But people didn't know what boundaries were. So I had to make sure they understood that. You know what I mean? Otaku Muse says it's not that hard. Trust me, I'm right there with you. But I would think that, especially these days, unless the kid is a spaz and is like bouncing off the walls and all kind of bullshit like that, I'm wondering how. Oh, bad parenting, maybe. Bad parenting, and maybe other people in my situation where it's like these kids like don't know how to act. And I know that's a crazy thing for a little, like, imagine an elementary school Kyle going, "Y'all little motherfuckers don't know how to act. My God, grow the fuck up. What's wrong with you little niggas? I will break you. Don't touch me. What the fuck? Do I know you? You know, this is just a stop today. I gotta go to the bank. I got errands to run. What is happening? School? Ugh. Gotta sit next to you people. What you mean stand in the line? I'm too close to this guy. Don't you know about the pandemic? Kyle said like years ago, decades ago, yeah. I am not feeling right in the throat.
Do you want me to get you a Halls? A Halls.
I don't know what the hell I need. I need to feel like I'm not gonna die. Oh my God. Okay, what the fuck? Do you think my elementary school, spirit is trying to reach out? Did you know that Lucas Werner left a comment on my video earlier today? Because he's, maybe he got his, I don't know if he had access to his YouTube account or what, but it's nice to know that I have a fan in that creep, all right? In that, oh my God, what a man. Good evening, everybody. Did you like the Kate Bishop DLC? Like it? I hated it. I'm waiting for Black Panther, man. And if I'm being honest, I'm not even going to be crazy about Black Panther. I want a hero that can fly. I would probably play with Captain Marvel more than I would Black Panther specifically because I have a boner for flight. But I also have clips from when I was trying to play Kate Bishop today where Kate could fly. And that's funny because of the joke that I made when they gave her the ability to teleport and go through portals. Pretty insane. Sorry, this number 11 post is really losing their mind. I don't think there's anything more despicable when people edit their post, but edit it at the top. I can't thank you all enough. I'm putting together a book. I used to be a lawyer. So I'm calling it Running from the Law, My Odyssey from the Courtroom to the Classroom. You think it's a little long? Does this make you want to read the rest of this entry? 34 people gave this an upvote.
It also starts
or an award. They bought an award for people.
It also says edit again.
Yeah, they edited it multiple times. E.T. Holy crap, thank you. I wrote this at lunch and I just got, oh my God, it's so much attention. I don't know what to do with myself. Jesus Christ.
Ew.
Jesus Christ. I wish I could get like an explosive amount of attention for a day so people would at least understand that it wouldn't turn me into some sort of fucking spaz. Ew, bro. I guess a certain kind of excitement may be good when you're teaching kids, but I want you to ask yourself something. Do you know a lot of lawyers who become teachers? What?
Why would they do that?
Why would you do that? And here's the thing. I am going to dismiss the most important thing here. That man, sorry if somebody feels like I'm derailing or I'm over exaggerating. I genuinely am amused to a point where I want to think about this. Obviously, for everybody, it's not always about the money. But of course, when you think about it, Dia, tree fitting, my
Thanks
man.
for being consistent.
No problem, my man Rollaways. Thank you for finding the time to roll in here on a daily bit. You know what I'm talking about? 3 fitty cheers for Rollaways. Hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, hip hip hooray, hip hip. That's almost like 3.6 cheers when I'm supposed to stop at Tree Fitty. Here's my point. Obviously, you're going away from a lot of money if you're a lawyer to a teacher. But I just don't understand how because it takes a lot to, I wonder how long they were a lawyer. You think they were a real lawyer or they were trying to be a lawyer and then were like, oh no, I can't do this, so I'm going to teach. Maybe they teach other lawyers. No. No.
I like how you're talking yourself out of thinking that.
I mean, I can't be an asshole and not read this just because I have seen nothing but cringe here. I don't know what it is. It's an acceptance speech, and not once or twice, but 3 times it seems. I'm screenshotting this so I can look back when I have a crappy day, which is probably often. Do you get what I'm saying? Dia, you and I may be some of the most depressed people within a multi-mile radius. But you know what we don't feel the need to do? Make it apparent in the way that we speak and the things that we do and how little it takes for something to be the hugest deal of our life. And no disrespect, my dude. Whatever the fuck they're going through, where a couple of people pressing the like button on your stupid ass post is just like life changing to the point where you, without self-awareness, are saying things like, I am going to screenshot this because I will need it in the future. In the future, I will need this. You know what I'm talking about? Now, Seraphin Bear is saying skip it. I want to, but I feel like an asshole for allowing something to just get up my ass that is irrelevant to the context of this excerpt. So I want to go ahead and, for the sake of this list, for the sake of those listening, and thank you for, giving me the opportunity to deliver this to you like a diva instead of just reading it like, a text-to-speech robot. But fuck me, man. They put it at the top. I think this is what gets under my skin. If this was even at the bottom, to say, okay, the entry's over. Here's my edits in case people were asking questions. I can just answer those questions here instead of going and individually answering every time other people ask the question. Because Reddit's like that, where when you have a top post, a lot of people will answer the same thing and go, well, what about this? Well, what about that? Well, what about this? And if you edit the bottom of it so that it's like, okay, for those asking, here's a, clarification, here's a follow-up, here's more details of how it happened. But this at the top, ooh wee boy. And then to end it with, I'm going to screenshot this for when I have a crappy day. Good God. Good God. Now, call me like some, like I'm a profiler or something. It's just, you know it when you see it, man. You know it when you see it, like a girl in a Snapchat or Instagram story that is clearly just fishing for a very specific kind of comment, taking it back to like 2005, where you're posting a status that's just like, I'm so ugly, under a picture that they probably spent 20 minutes trying to get. The 20 minutes you spent posing with this picture to post, oh my God, I just don't even look good. What do you guys think about it? Let's call her Wendy. I taught in school in Detroit public schools, special education. I had a small class, self-contained, for students with visual impairments. Wendy came to us in small shoes, a worn-out coat, huge, covering her face. A huge hat covering her face. In its infinite wisdom, the district put us in the magnet school that had never had special education before. The first day, the principal said to me, and I quote, we don't want you here. Damn. Principal was hardcore on dress code, took one look at Wendy, and tried to put her out. My para and I fought back at the principal, deciding that she had bigger fish to fry, and backed down. But that bonded Wendy to us instantly. A shy, quiet 6th grader who was behind in math, reading, everything, and who had low vision that magnifiers and glasses could not help. Since the class was so small, everyone got super intense. Teaching and Wendy started to blossom. Teach the Wendy. Teach her good. Hold her down. Give her this teaching.
Oh, that got creepy.
Get the teach in there. No, the knowledge, it's too big. It's pulsating. Oh my God. I think the knowledge is about to burst. I did manage to get, listen, even though most of the teachers refused to let our kids come to wait a minute, did I skip a bunch? A shy, quiet 6th grader who was behind in math, reading, everything, who had low vision that magnifiers and glasses could not help. Since the class was so small, everyone got super intense teaching, and Wendy started to blossom. I prefer it when girls buttercup Dia. Even though the most of the teachers refuse to let... Yeah, I read that right. Even though the most, whatever. Even though the most of the teachers refuse to let our kids come to their classes, I did manage to get them into art and music. Have you kids heard of this? Sorry, we discovered that Wendy was some sort of musical natural. You mean like a savant? You're a teacher. You're a teacher, you know? And I'm not saying that maybe she was amazing. So I recognize that there's a difference between someone being a legit savant and having maybe just natural musical inclination. But you should specify. Since you're letting us know that you're writing a book and taking the time to, you know, edit your post to put that in front. Easy there, Kyle. You're not going to run into this guy in a dark alley. She could play piano by ear, sing on note. Bro, what do you mean on note? Do you mean in tune? I'm about to go crazy reading this entry. No.
He's a lawyer, not a...
I'm a lawyer turned teacher, not some sort of knowledge guy. Ugh, jeez. Damn, she can sing on note. What?
Look, man.
What does that mean? This is like it's a big note flying by. You jump on it and start singing. I'm singing on it. I'm singing on this note. Wow. Even played the flute. Even played the flute. Look. I know a lot of people who can play piano by ear and sing on note, but play the flute. Wow.
Amazing.
She made friends even though she was blind, started pulling up on her academics, you know? Then in February, or, you know, maybe I should overpronounce the R in February. Then in February, it all ended. The secretary called me to the office to say that the CPS, why'd you put the in front of that? To say that Child Protective Services wanted to talk to me. The lady said that there was an investigation into Wendy's home life, but her mom pulled up stakes and was on the run. Wendy disappeared. At some point, her mom landed back at the house and our truant officer went there. It's been 13 years. I don't remember the exact details, blah, 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 blah. But the mom said, I'm homeschooling the children and slammed the door. That was that. Wendy was gone. 18-ish months later, I'm in another school and some of the same amazing kids. Andy says to me out of the blue, hey man, Wendy's with her dad. She's coming back tomorrow. My para and I stopped dead in our tracks. Then we peppered this poor kid with like 100 questions until he started laughing and said, wait until tomorrow, old people.
Exactly, old people.
Yeah, your old ass singing on note. The fuck? Hey, yo, listen, sure enough, Wendy rolls in. Whoa, because she's special ed. That's fucked up.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, her eyes are blind, not her legs. Tia really laughed at that. I got her good. She said, what? My legs are blind, so I have to use this wheelchair. God, my ears can't eat either, so I have to wear these hearing aids. Yup.
My ears don't work.
My ears can't eat the sounds.
No, that's why I have to sing on note.
I sing on the note, but my ears don't eat. I have no ear appetite, but I must hear. What does it mean? Listen, it's not funny. It's just insane. Okay. And that's what you have to understand is that I guess if psychosis isn't funny to you, at least to a small degree, guys. Hello. You know, that's what I'm talking about. Can we see that? I'm sorry. I have no appetite for my ears. And that's some really stupid shit that I just said. This stream is buckling. And I'm wondering if there's something going on with my upload speed because it's bad. The fluctuation is so weird. It jumps up and down. And not in the like lovely way that a perky titty jiggly. You know, the thing about the hemispherical breasts, is that they're great, but without the right amount of fat there's not enough give for them to properly jiggle. Do you know what I mean? So, and I always like this, how no matter who you are, you're going to find things that you just dislike. So there are girls with probably breasts so perfect that they could be mistaken for implants, but they don't have the give or the jiggle that a madam such as yourself naturally and organically manage, even doing something as simple as sneezing or laughing, you know what I mean? Or waving, or walking, or breathing.
Just existing in general.
Yeah, you know, they won't be able to manage that jiggle. And that's, it kind of makes me want to get a 40 ounce and just pour some out. Is this a 40 ounce? I would pour some out for my homies. And the women with the stiff breasts. It's not a word you want to associate with breasts, is it? Keep a stiff upper breast, ladies. Wait, keep stiff. Carry on. Are we done with this entry? Look, sure enough, Wendy rolls in with her dad the next day. Wendy and her 5 siblings had been locked in a house for the past year and a half with no medical care, improper nutrition. They didn't have anything. Someone got word to the cousin, who got word to the dad, who found them, and Child Protective Services burst in to save them all. Wendy was back. You really ended the sentence like that. To tell you how incredible this kid was, she jumped right back into school. You gotta stop with these. She jumped. She's her legs. I'm kidding. It has nothing to do with her legs. Why have I invented this? Why do I keep making the decision that these posts are boring before I give them the proper chance? You know?
It's who you are.
Oh my God. Within a month, she had friends all over the school. Every teacher loved her. She wanted to learn Braille. She worked her ass off to do so. I had her for 7th and 8th grade. These were the years. Those were the most amazing years of my teaching life. Best parapro, best kids. We made so much progress. On her last day of 8th grade, Wendy clung to me and cried and said that she couldn't make it in high school. I told her that of course she would, and she did. She came back during her 9th grade year and gave me a letter that I still have. She didn't talk much about those 18 months, but she'd said in the letter that those days were over and that she was her own person, and thanked me and our para and other teachers. 3 years later, I got a notice from her that she was graduating high school. I will never forget any of those kids, especially Wendy. When I think about giving up or that I can't do something, I think of her. I'll never forget you, my dear sweet love. A story about Wendy, and all of the trials and, tribulations that she endured, she weathered, all of the obstacles that she found a way to navigate, even when life was giving her lemons, so to speak. And now she owns a very popular fast food restaurant that you have probably, been to. Yeah, got a 4 for $4 deal. Pretty good. Are you gonna give me $4 or even Tree Fitty? You hit me with Tree Fitty, I will dig deep for that 50 cents and get a 4 for $4 deal from Wendy's. God damn. But look, no diminishing this story and the woman, the girl that's in it. She is special education. She had a mother who was a son of a bitch. She was locked in a room, without medical attention, without special attention, which she would have needed, without love. And she found a way to push forward even when she doubted herself, saying she didn't think she was going to make it in high school. She found a way to push forward and not allow the experience that she had been through to define her. That's pretty inspirational shit, bro. Pretty inspirational shit. And I love people like this in other people's lives because, of course, when people look at people who are disabled or special or, have needs that are greater than that of what they consider a normal person, of course, they unfortunately look at that person and consider them as less or capable of less. But the fact that this chick didn't let these things stop her, and even if she needed help, Damn,
Just wanna
YNK.
let you know I appreciate you and everything you do. Thanks for helping me sleep when nothing else works. P.S. Get yourself 5 4 for 4s.
Damn. YNK. I mean, you're a hero. So once again, claps. I hope this honkler at the top of the tree suits you. I don't think anybody's gonna be dethroning YNK this Christmas, so he get that spicy honkler Christmas topper for the tree. And if that's the only thing we put on the tree, that'll be fine too. So I thank you. That's a lot of 4 for 4s, man. 5 4 for 4s. I know this sounds stupid and irrelevant, but I found that if you order Wendy's from Grubhub, that even if you order the 4 for 4 and then tell it to like make the fries and the drink large and all kind of bullshit like that, they won't add that to the price. One time Dia and I got like 3 4 for 4s and it came with like these head-sized drinks. It was nuts. We were sipping lemonade the whole day, bro. The whole day. You too can use this power. I impart this upon you. These aren't the types of tips you'll find in another YouTube video, but you'll find them here. I'm going to be doing my own YouTube videos, instructing people on how to use an air fryer to reheat things like pizza leftovers. Wow. You don't see a lot of... there needs to be more trash videos, bro. Hey, Kyle. I'm hungry, but like... I just need to be able to make something with what's in the fucking house, bro. Do you have a bag of fries? Throw that in the air fryer, right? Get some cheese from somewhere. I don't care. It's sliced cheese, whatever, even. Throw that in there. Cook it for 1 more minute. Get a can of chili. You make the chili cheese fries now. Chili cheese man. Chili cheese woman, it's 2020. You can eat it too, girl. See with your mind. Hear with your heart. YNK says that's actually a game changer. This is why I tune in. Bro, again, thank you, YNK, for existing. Your contributions keep this this whole operation afloat. But on top of that, I also like that you unironically use me to go to sleep, because there's a lot of comedic material that I could harvest from me exclusively existing for people that, you know, I had trouble getting to sleep, but then I found this guy on YouTube and oh my God, he just drones on and on about nothing. I wake up hours later and go, my God, he did the trick. It worked like a trick. Some of my old videos too. Here's like an impression of some of my old videos. Okay, just for you. Check it out. Okay, so let me start okay. Unforgettable. Students. Coming in at number oh Jesus, coming in at number 11 here. Okay, let's go. Number 11. Edit. I can't thank you all enough. My eyes are watering just yawning for real. Like I was really yawning just now. Listen, I apologize for anybody that somehow stuck around after finding some of my old videos where it's like, whoa. Dia, you ever listen to me speak and it sounds like I'm fighting different pronunciations of a word while I'm saying it?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm like thinking of saying things in multiple languages. And I have to fight my brain, Dia. I want to know what the name for this is. It feels dyslexic. But that can't apply here. There's things happening in my mind. I'm unstable. Damn.
About to try this on DoorDash, will report back.
Hey, bro, whoa. Listen to what I said, I think, though. I love you, my man. You're a heartbreaker. You're a soul taker. Yeah, I'm about to just thank you for setting this Christmas up, apparently, because there are things that I should have already had that I don't. And that's fine. That's life. But a reminder, it was Grubhub. Grubhub is where I get the Wendy's thing. And like whenever I order that 4 for $4, man, it is just like, oh, so you want large fries? You want large drink? And I'm like, yeah, sure, yeah. And then I look at the price and they don't upcharge me. I'm like, okay, give me all of them fries. Oh my God. Jesus says those 300 entry videos. I did do some with like 60 entries, 75 and shit. What was the point of that? What was the point of that torture? I'm crazy. But not as crazy as you guys. For using me as a sleep aid. My hat goes off to you. Appreciate that. YNK says, what can I say? I'm a gambling man. Yeah, there's no fun in using what he knows will work with Grubhub. He's going to try it with DoorDash. What are you guys are upcharging me? Oh, I'm very disappointed, man. This isn't what I could get elsewhere. If only we could talk to the app like that. And he'd be like, no, I'll do better. Don't blockbuster me, bro. Bruh, do you guys think that HBO is offering enough in the way of a streaming service to bait you into giving a shit enough to adding that to what you're probably already paying for with like Hulu or Netflix? Because say you have Amazon Prime because you get shit delivered. You know what I mean? You already have Prime Video if that's what you want to watch. You know what I mean? But if you got Hulu, if you have Netflix, what the fuck you talking about? You about to jump on HBO? Some of these people probably already got Disney Plus. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't know. Rollaway says those were the best for sleep. The old videos? The newer stuff, not so much. Kyle's more animated now. Is that true?
Yes. I can also attest to that.
You can attest to Kyle being more animated. That means that you're the problem.
I'm sorry.
You ruined it, as women do. I'm sure people can name a bunch of channels where it was great while it was them alone, and then they got a woman in their life and got all happy, or maybe they got too many subscribers, so now they're really up their own ass, and they think that anybody's just going to tolerate anything that they fucking do. And in a way, they're correct. Some of these people get so many subscribers, Dia, that they can just pull those pants down and take a hot steaming Baby Yoda, and people will just, ooh, another video? We're blessed today. Listen, I don't want to do that to you guys. Even though I'm needing to get better. I'm needing to get better. Because YouTube's going to shut it down, bro. I need to make another channel and make it PG as fuck. You guys need to give me great ideas to make videos on another channel so that it can be squeaky clean and that YouTube will have no reason to shut me down. Not because I'm looking for views or for a crazy amount of, attention, but just because I want to have somewhere where we don't get shut down, bro. Linda says, what's up? What's up to Linda? Wow. Rollaway says, there is a shift from pre-Dia to post-Dia videos. Intriguing. Jesus says, I used to wonder if you had some sort of condition that had you yawning 87% of the list. Maybe. I'm pretty sure I'm still like this to a certain degree. I think I found the great time to situate these streams.
You sound bored now, but before, you just yawned most of the list. Like,
I sound bored now when I read?
Yeah, like you're not interested in this whole thing.
Hey, I am. It's just like...
Even you voiced how, like, tired you are of, like, reading this stuff.
No, it's not the act of reading. It's what I'm reading from people.
The stuff you're reading.
The problem is, and you'll hear it when I read, because I read these all organically, like for the first time, and you get my legit reaction. You'll hear sometimes when I'll actually physically say, not physically, but like verbatim say, this reminds me of old Reddit, where people were unfiltered, where people weren't scared to say some shit. Nowadays, you have a lot of things you can't say on Reddit because people will downvote you because that's insensitive and you're not supposed to say, you know what I mean? It's just like whack. And it's not real. People don't speak like this. So it's turned into this site where you can have very politically correct opinions. And when things are overly politically correct, it's not authentic. And that's what this site's become, bless you. So yeah, now I just source it for fucking weird stories that people are going to tell because that's the only amount of amusement we can get from it. Otherwise, it borders on fiction, which is even something that we still have to worry about. Number 10 on this list, I was water sports instructor. I was teaching people kayaking and canoeing in a couple of years that, went back a couple of years ago, okay? There was a group of refugees. All were minors between the ages of 11 and 17 years old. They came with us through a charity that was supporting them gaining asylum in this country. Huh. Intriguing. All of them had crossed the channel on a raft or a dinghy literally 2 days before. And for some goddamn reason, the charity had decided that it was a good time to make them go canoeing. Well, can't make it up. These kids were from South Sudan, 15 years old, absolute behemoth. We're talking like 6 foot plus, and he's pushing 14 to 15 stone in weight. 210 pounds. Bitch, I could eat this motherfucker. Anyway, covered in scars, some of them ritualistic sacrification. Not sacrification, Kyle, you fucking dyslectic. God damn it. Scarification. Ew. Okay. Missing teeth. Ugh. Generally just looked like he'd been through hell on Earth. And he probably had been. I know that we have all been through hell. How many of you can say that you have a PlayStation 5? Exactly. My heart goes out to you, okay? I love you. He was terrified of the water. I took him in the boat, nice and easy. Once he got comfortable, I just stuck a stern rudder in and let him power us through the water. Him, the other kids, they all loved it. We had some tears at the beginning. I imagine it was a lot of PTSD involving the state of some of the poor kids, but at the end of the session, this giant monster of a child walked up to me with a huge jagged grin and in broken English said, "Thank you, leader," and gave me a bear hug that I'll never forget. To this day, 4 years later, I still remember that grin. A wholesome story about a guy overcoming something that's pretty fucked up. Can you imagine people braving an ocean to try to get away from the terrible conditions in which they live? And then when they get somewhere, they go, okay, canoe practice, guys. We have this machine that's going to simulate the really crazy waves. And just for a little bit of fun, we have pulled up some MP3s of like crazy storms. We're going to turn off the lights in here, make it really authentic, shine some flashlights at you, but in like a strobe light, you know what I mean? Kind of frequency. I hope it's not overwhelming, We have some people here that are really enthusiastic about pursuing movie careers, so they just want to try to scream in the background and see if it'll be kind of believable. No big deal. Take these laxatives as well, in case you guys aren't feeling loose. Just a nightmare. Just a real bad situation. I think I love it. Tom Hellert says, "I just got your notification, Kyle." Wow, it only took about 40 minutes into the stream. Now that's what I'm talking about. If only I had some kind of button that I could slap to notify people to like the video that they're watching. But why would you want to do that? As we continue up this list, we arrive at number 9. 9 on the list of unforgettable student stories. I had a student that told me, "You really make me think." We are friends to this day and have the best conversations. It's the highest compliment for a teacher. Really? I could interject, but I'm not going to. I'll allow people to just be happy with shit like this. You know what I mean? You know what this entry's like?
What?
It's like if I had a kid and
Thank you, Linda, by the way.
and I became such a fucking detached, out of touch bastard that I don't know, I have no personal gauge for what is entertaining, what is worthy or anecdotal of someone's time. You know what I mean? So I tell you things like, today my child ate a sandwich. And as a parent, it was just one of the most interesting moments of my entire life.
Yeah. Nothing will ever.
What is a person supposed to respond to that?
That's nice.
Your kid ate a sandwich. Oh, say word. Well, you're just not a parent, so you can't understand. You know what I mean?
I don't think that's not as bad as the parents who try to use their kids to say, oh, they said something really deep today, and they're like, oh, and by the way, they're 3 years old, and it's like, okay, man, we get it.
Listen, I know girls, and if I were to have a fetish, Dia, outside of like big, titties, it would be girls furiously seeking attention, but that somehow are either in denial about it, Dia, or think that they're so smart and everybody else is so dumb that they can make it seem like they're not wanting the attention. And that's what's going to make everybody give them the attention, is them thinking that they don't want it. It's a poorly articulated thought, but do you know what I mean?
I think so, yeah.
Some girls want attention really, really bad, but they either overestimate their own intelligence to the point where they think no one's going to be able to tell. I'm going to post this picture and I'm going to say this thing, but really I'm trying to get everybody to look at it, and nobody else is going to be able to tell. You see this kind of shit on Twitter all the time, where somebody makes something a hill that they're going to die on, when in reality, they don't care about this thing. It couldn't be any more, virtue signally, but they want the attention and they want it really bad. And it's so weird because it seems that they would have to abandon all reason. They would need to abandon any kind of self-awareness to think that a normal person wouldn't immediately be able to tell, bitch, this doesn't matter to you. You're just doing it for attention. That's the part that impresses me, is that they think nobody's going to be able to tell when it's obvious as hell.
It all goes back to Space Buns and how someone was like, oh man, me and my friends and my family have been harassed because we're trying to stand up for this injustice of people calling it Space Buns instead of this other thing, and it should have a filter on Animal Crossing that if you're black, you get to wear these hairstyles, but if you're not, you can't wear them.
Vicky6 says, why are you literally describing me? This is not a personal attack. All I'm saying is that I am genuinely and outrageously amused, interested, I want to say just captivated by. I am fascinated by. It's funny because Vicky6's profile picture is kind of behind that tree, so it looks like she's like peeking out from behind the tree. You see that?
I love Linda's thing.
Linda says, you mean Stripes?
With who you just described.
Oh, no, not Stripes. No. Oh, no, she's probably responding to Rollaways when they're talking about videos when I had Sprinkles or Sparkles. Oh my God, that's life. The idea that we can't remember Stripes' name, so we refer to her as Sprinkles or Sparkles. Listen, all I'm saying is that when it comes to these girls, man, when it comes to these people who are desperate for attention, but trying to disguise it as something else, I like to think if they separated themselves from themselves and looked at the video or the post or the picture that they're putting up, they would be able to ascertain, bitch, this doesn't matter to you. It's going to be clear that you're desperate for attention if you put this out there, but they still put it out there. So it's like, is it disrespectful to people in the way of like, oh, you just think everybody's so stupid? Because there is logic in believing people to just be too stupid to really see through it. That's something that at the end of the day, we need to realize is that even if people can see through it, the majority will be along for that ride. Like, you and I could shoot a video and pretend that it's like a hidden camera thing, but then have shots where like the person that's supposed to be tricked or like captured, they have a camera on them. You know what I mean? Just bizarre shit where it's like, bro, you've given away that this is staged. But then you look at the comments, bro. I think that's all I have to say. Forgive me for derailing. Some people are incapable of seeing what's right in front of their face, and I need to get with that program. But I'm not. This is why I'm a bitch. If there's ever a reason that you guys should know that I'm a bitch, and I'm willing to admit it, it's that I don't have the nerve to take advantage of suckers. You know? We know a sucker's born like every minute. We know that some people will not recognize what's in front of their face. But I'm not the type of person that would sell these people something for more than what they can get across the street for less. You know? And that's how some people succeed. That's how some people get somewhere. That's how they make it in life. And I have this opportunity, but I don't feel it's right. And for that, I'm a bitch, because I could be better situated, you know? We're going to have to find a way that is a balance or something. It really makes me sad to think too much about. You need to stop. Number 8, I had a junior, 16 years old, in my high school science course last year, peel the strip of metal off the side of a ruler and proceed to stick each end into an outlet and shocked himself. I saw the sparks out of the corner of my eye, jumped up, and his arm was in some significant pain. He said he did it because he wanted to see what would happen. That's the most terrifying thing, when you're trying to be a teacher and you're really just like a substitute parent for these fucking idiots. The scientific method in action, I guess. I will never forget that dumbass. This was exactly the different kind of entry that I was looking for to spice this list up. Imagine if the whole list were shit like this. Hey, what's the craziest stupid shit you saw some kid do? This boy ripped the metal part out of an outlet. And I'm like, oh my God, he gonna slice somebody. Nope, stuck it in an outlet. Shocked himself. And then when I said, why'd you do this? He said, I want to see what would happen. I want to see if I could do it. I saw a video earlier with a guy in a loaded shotgun. Where do you think that goes?
He accidentally discharges it?
Accidentally? Man. You know? Accidentally.
Oh, he did. Okay, well
You know what? Let me show you a little bit of it. You know? It'll just be some frames. Nothing crazy. So, this is a loaded shotgun. And then my dude points it at himself. So I don't know what kind of accidents were gonna happen here. You know what I mean? But nah. Whatever happened. And you gotta wonder. You just gotta wonder. These people may have just made up their mind in a way that we aren't aware of, but what always trips me out is like the reactions immediately following are extremely confused. You know? Like, people will stand around and watch somebody climb a light pole and then like shimmy along the power lines looking for a spot to touch to electrocute themselves. And then when the lightning seems to strike and the body's like on fire for a couple of seconds, everybody's like, oh my God, what the hell? No. And I was like, Well, what did you guys? I don't know, man. J Max says with the shotgun TikTok. No. I still haven't seen that, which is good. Because I thought I saw it, but it was another dude. Another dude with a tarp. This guy laid down a tarp. Nice guy. Number 7. I had a 7th grader that was the biggest, happiest doofus. He actually was pretty intelligent, but he was such an open book. He came across as a bit of a fool. Other teachers treated him like a nuisance because he was definitely a distraction to the other kids. He didn't try to be disruptive, he just was. What an anime character. He lit up the room with positive energy, however, and was genuinely happy to enjoy every moment of being alive. Man, this guy's almost like out anime charactering me, Dia. I can't let that happen. He might catch your attention in homeroom. I didn't understand how his prior teachers were annoyed by him, because he was genuinely a ray of sunshine and he made everyone a little happier by being in his presence. He was always smiling, always entertaining and entertained by life, and it was contagious, kind of like a human golden retriever. I helped him learn how to set school-related goals for himself and take more of an interest in the things that we studied, and he was proud, so proud of earning his first A in my class. The reason I will never forget him is because I wasn't yet a mother when I taught him, and I decided that if I ever have kids, I hope that they will be as happy as Oscar is. I would try to encourage their sense of wonder and fun above all else. It's really weird. I can't imagine what it's like to have like well-adjusted parents, or maybe like a 2-parent home where I guess people are more well-adjusted because they have one another to bounce off of and don't have, pent-up emotions and maybe are in need of an outlet and all kind of bullshit like this where they're using their kids as fucking, figurative punching bags. But the real question is, can you imagine having a parent that's really invested in the happiness of their kid? Like, bruh, happiness? You need to do what I want you to do and be the way that I need you to be like, and only then will we go on to the next phase, which is doing the new thing that I want you to do and be like. Shit, fuck your happiness. This isn't about you, kid. But yeah, no, that happiness, that confidence, that, that larger than life, lighting up the room, everybody's attention, clearly a distraction, not quite disruptive, but definitely the focus of many people's eye. That's the shit that made those other teachers hate him. You know what I mean? You're teaching, and I mean no disrespect. There are people who are passionate about teaching, passionate about watching the new generation, watching this new wave of people go and influence the world. They're necessary. They're dope. The good ones are. But many teachers end up in the teaching position because they feel like they really don't have an alternative. This is just a job for them. And those people are the worst. They are indirectly ruining some kids that will go on to ruin other people. And those waves will wash over this planet in a way that, harbors hindrance in the way of progress as a civilization. And I know it sounds like I'm just talking out of my ass, man, but teachers really are the most important motherfuckers, more so than the parents, because I feel they're in a position to not just instill within some of these kids. And again, it's not a super heroic job where every teacher is going to be able to get through to every kid. Some kids are sons of bitches. And, I'm completely aware of that. But many of these teachers' responsibility is to soak these children. No pun intended, no grossness intended. But while these children are at the figurative, most spongy portion of their life, where they can soak in the most information, they can absorb and retain the most things, they can learn and then apply that knowledge into wisdom, the position that the teachers are in is the most influential, not just for those specific bastards, not just for the bastards that they will touch and reach out and have an influence on, but the world as we continue to grow. You know what I mean? And, you've heard me go on about the fucking teaching system and how it sucks because, especially in America, it's all about just teaching you enough to, cram and pass this one test and jump through these very specific hoops that maybe are impractical in real life applications. You know what I mean? You're learning a lot of things that you're never going to use. And that ain't right to me. And that problem is only going to exponentially grow as we are in a hockey puck, as it pertains to the line graph just shooting up of progress and development in the way of technology. So the things that people are being taught are redundant by the end of the very year that they were taught it. You know what I mean? Because things are changing that fast. This year and what it's done, holy shit, man. What comes next? What comes next? Ooh-wee. What comes next? This is some scary shit. What I'm terrified of is it will kind of push certain morons back into the dark ages. If some people are as insane to genuinely believe what they do about Trump right now, fuck what you believed about Trump back then, but right now, I understand trolling. I understand wanting to see the world burn. I understand just jumping on the side of a bunch of people because you know something crazy is going to happen if these people get far enough. Bruh. But I wouldn't stop. I believe that somewhere, someone believes that this whole COVID thing is enough of a conspiracy to force their children not to go to schools, to perpetuate a genuine leap backwards in time to when kids were not properly educated. You know what I mean? And they are making the choice for us to go backwards. You know? I don't know what to say. We live in a scary time. Jesus says, speaking of Kyle being more animated, Kevin Smith is too animated for his Silent Bob character in the more recent Jay and Silent Bob movie. It's kind of dumb. How do you ruin a character like that? You know what the crazy part is, Dia? Usually when you get the OGs that were in a movie or, you know, a property before to come back, they're the best part of it. How you forgot how your own character works, bro? Shut the fuck up.
Oh my gosh.
Calm the fuck down. That sucks.
I hope that that's not what happened also with the Bill and Ted.
Hey, Dia, you want to talk about something? Homie that played Dr. Octopus in Spider-Man 2, one of the greatest initial fucking, he's coming back as Doc Ock. Now, I will be honest, Dia. This is like another Keanu Reeves movie to me. This is like if they were making a Obi-Wan Kenobi thing with Ewan McGregor. This has it all, you know? It has what you would want in the way of meme potential. It's got everything, bro. And I love how huge what they're setting up is. And maybe, you know, it is deliberately being leaked as well. Because, you know, this is a dry time. This is a funny time. God, oh God. It all leads back to Marvel's Avengers and how hard they fucked up. This is the first year in like, 10 years? 10 years without a Marvel movie. And this could have been their opportunity to do something. The funny thing is, you make an Avengers game, boy. What would you say the biggest draws of the Avengers are right now? Like, if you had to name 2 top Avengers heroes that might draw in big-time fans, who would you say that they are?
Me?
Yes.
For new characters coming in, or characters that have...
No, just members of... people who are the Avengers. Fuck the game.
Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange.
Well, correct. Correct, you're saying Spider-Man. The top 3 heroes as far as profit or marketability is concerned is Iron Man, because this is the dude that, you know, is at the focal point of the MCU, you know. It's Spider-Man, obviously, but Spider-Man wouldn't be helping Marvel's Avengers right now, because I think even if that character was ready to go, they couldn't dump his ass until well after Christmas, so that the proper Spider-Man game with Sony has time to sell as many copies as it wants. That was probably a deal made by Sony as well to make damn sure that there's only one Spider-Man on the playing, you know what I mean? On the platforms, and that'll be the way that it stays at least up until February, March, whatever y'all want to drop that motherfucker. To me, marketability, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Wolverine, dear. You know what I mean? Wolverine is the cinematic Tony Stark. If MCU got Iron Man Tony Stark, then the Fox movies, when they were making X-Men, they had Wolverine. Wolverine was shouldering motherfucking movies on his own. Wolverine have more movies to his name than Iron Man does to his name.
But Iron Man is dead.
Yes.
Which
in the MCU, but that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. I was only talking about draws for the Avengers game. Now, the comedy is, Stark is in that game, but he looking Chinese. He looking like a knockoff, looking like a great value Avenger. Okay. Y'all went with Kate Bishop for the first DLC hero. Y'all went with Kamala Khan to focus on for the game. You can't have Spider-Man yet, because there is another Spider-Man release that is clashing with the promotion of this title. But you also haven't really done much with the X-Men, because y'all had to also have great value X-Men in the way of Inhumans in your game. It's just bizarre. Kids love Hulk, Jesus, but Hulk is almost like a given. Do you get what I'm saying? And Hulk at this point is never going to be the single dude. You know what I'm talking about? Hulk is going to accompany people. Hulk's going to be part of a team. He's going to be part of an ensemble. Hulk isn't typically interesting enough on his own lately to merit some stuff. I know there's legal shit in the way of them doing a solo Hulk movie, but I don't know if there's anything stopping them from making like solo Hulk properties like TV shows and all kind of bullshit like that. But you're not gonna see it because it'd be as ridiculous as the old school Hulk video with Lou Ferrigno. I love Hulk, but that doesn't mean that he's interesting now. Unfortunately, it doesn't mean he's interesting, because I love the idea. Like, if you guys know anything about the old school Hulk TV show, that was the whole show, was this dude would just get mad and beat the shit out of somebody after warning them the whole time. Don't get me angry. You wouldn't like me if I was angry. You know what I mean? And they'd be like, what? Bitch, I'm gonna break you off a piece of this anger. And he was like, oh my God. All Lou Ferrigno painted green. Pretty cool. Remember when we were reading a list? As we continue up to number 6, okay? I teach at a prison. Now we're talking. The first inmate that I had graduate under my teaching cried when he looked up at his diploma. He was the first in his entire family to graduate. It was quite the accomplishment, and I was very moved. Pretty down-to-earth entry. Very, short and sweet. I actually pulled up Grubhub to describe to you guys this fucking Taco Bell thing. I am so ridiculous. But I do love you, and I want the best for you. Shout out to Y&K. God damn. Jesus said first in his cell block to graduate. Hey, don't undermine those accomplishments, my man. Because people on the outside are not even interested in they're not even interested in like getting the diploma for whatever reason, you know. And hey, to each their own. Live your own life. Everybody can't be the same, I guess. YNK says it works with DoorDash? Bruh. Large fries, large drinks. Now, this is the way. Number 5, okay? Big Mike. I'm a high school teacher, science teacher in an affluent suburb. We get this transfer kid who's like 6'8". 7 foot ain't nothing to fuck with, dear. That's like the basketball coach is going to approach you in school. Hey, so you know what I mean? 6'8". 350 pounds, a long, thin Hulk Hogan mullet, and his big glasses. Mike hailed from the hollers of Kentucky. Ooh, a phrase I've never heard.
Hollers.
The hollers. Thick Southern accent. Was the most quotable kid I ever met. Jesus says, don't they charge an arm and a leg to deliver? Not if you know what you're doing, homie. You know, back in the day, there used to be something called retail Minot, which gave out codes for certain sites like this. And YNK has the other half of the equation as well. One side of this coin is that, yes, you should be taking advantage of free delivery trials from some of these places. But when you look at like Postmates and Uber Eats, they're often sending you codes for straight up free delivery. That's the time to get these delivery things if you're, you know, for whatever reason you can't go out, or you're probably trying to avoid going out, or you just don't have the time. Maybe you get high, you don't want to move, shit like this. You know what I mean? Take advantage of these free 30-day free trials, 14-day free trials, and then go into the apps and see if they have like a code for free delivery today. Postmates is particularly great with this because I think Postmates has this shit called Party Time. It may be Postmates. Postmates has this shit called Party Time, where for a small period, certain different locations will not charge for delivery. And that's when you order from them places, if they are the places that you are trying to order from. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Don't dismiss it because, oh, well, they're charged too much on the surface. Bitch, you play Destiny. That's why you reaching. You know what I'm talking about? I need to buy my emotes, bro. The only thing I'm about to buy in the way of cosmetics soon is Master Chief when they drop him in motherfucking Fortnite. I am not ashamed to say I bought Venom. That skin has been good to me. I'm happy about it. Dia, did you know that in Fortnite right now, there's tons of like NPCs on the board with crazy amounts of health? You remember 2 seasons ago when like we could run into Midas and Meowscles and stuff like that? Now there's supposed to be like dozens of them because the whole vibe of this season is like bounties or some shit like this. So we're supposed to go down there and kill these bastards, and they're spawning on the map all the time. I think that'd be so fun to actually get into it with like AI, because to be honest, I bet everybody would like Fortnite, the single player game, if they played it, but none of us are gonna play it. So the only way to get us to play it is to seep that bullshit into Battle Royale the way that they used to with you remember when they would do like the zombies and stuff like that? YNK says, damn, that roast still hits after 2 or around 2 years. You know? Oh boy.
I'm gonna let you know if I get anything good.
Look, no disrespect to Destiny again, because it works. You understand? Nobody can take that away from Destiny. They were the first. I've always said this. Sometimes it's not about quality. It's about beating other people to the punch. Okay? But credit where credit is due, Dia, as I've said in my other videos, Destiny was more complete at launch than Marvel's Avengers was, dude.
Yep.
1 enemy faction and 2 villains all replete. You can't replay the campaign. I was getting ahead of myself. I gotta shut up about Marvel's Avengers, but they shit that bed. And any and every move that they make right now puts the biggest of smiles on my face, because it's like, so this is your move. A girl archer, and she can teleport and put down portals. And in my glitch that I was playing the game with today, this bitch was flying. I know I'm not the only person that had it, because when I looked it up, Dia, when I looked it up, other people had the glitch too. Let me see here. Marvel's Avengers glitch. And then I'll go by today. Filter. Today. Bruh, somebody already did it. I'm gonna have to make a video where it's a tutorial then. Oh, theirs was inside. Yeah, I was outside. Look at this, Jesus. This is 3 months after launch. This is 3 months after launch. What? Today's patch really filled me with hope for this game. I really feel like this game's got a future, and boy, oh boy, that is really just putting me in the best of moods. Let me go to Marvel's Avengers Discord right now. You know that picture of the Jerry shaking each other's hand? It's just a bunch of people going, wow, yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that too. Yeah, Jerry, not bad. Shaking his hand, pat on the back. Yeah, you did a great job. Dia, this is an absolute step in the right direction. Okay, CD, this update is great. And if this is the amount of effort put into each and every DLC character, I'm very excited for the future of this game. The comeback starts now. See you guys after the drop. And then there's like a dubstep fucking, this game roast itself, boy. It really does excite me. I'm sorry that it excites me so much, but it's really exciting for me when people are just like, this game is so great and I love it. Oh, it's for 3 months. Listen, okay? When Marvel's Avengers lost 96% of its player base, that's that shit that I'm talking about. And it ain't just losing your players, it's losing about 63 million. Oh, fuck yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. You should have seen the other glitches I was having. The sword was disappearing. This bitch was fighting with, like, her mind. I love it. So we continue up this list as we obliterate this list. Number 4, YNK, you deserve better. I'm sorry. I can't even be a good, lullaby and good night, go to sleep guy anymore. Number 4, I've had many students that are still taking a large place in my heart. Some are sad, like the girl whose mother started beating her during a parent-teacher conference. I started crying and begged the mother to stop. It's not funny. It's sad, but like the fact that the teacher was crying, like, what are you doing? Please. That's bad. That is bad. Some people really gotta know when to fucking put it together. Hello to Kevin. Hope you're having a prize Christmas season. December. I started crying and begged the mother to stop. The student who had no water or electricity at home, but we allowed him to shower at school and we washed his clothes. Oh. The student who watched his grandparents get murdered by his mother and wrote about it in an essay for class. It's gotta be drugs. Gotta be drugs. It doesn't say grandparent. It says parents. Your mother. And you have to wonder if they were living together. They're all living together. That's some grisly shit that I'm reading here. The student who watched his grandparents get murdered by his mother. The student who had never been in a lake that we took camping. He was so excited but didn't know how to swim, so he just stood in the water to his neck and grinned. Lovely. Cute. Have I ever told you that I'm terrified of bodies of water? Not scared that I won't go in, but okay. Sometimes when you are out of my presence, all I think about is you tripping. Do you get what I'm saying? Which is why sometimes you're like, hey, I'm going to go do this thing. And I stop you and I'm like, be fucking careful. You know what I mean? Sometimes we get out of the car and we're coming back in. I'm telling you to like step deliberately. You know what I mean? And all kind of bullshit like that. I always see you tripping. So, as it pertains to me getting into bodies of water that aren't a pool, I'm always visualizing shit swimming up my dick. It's crazy.
I would be more worried about the brain-eating amoeba.
Fuck the brain-eating amoeba this time. You know what I mean? A lot of people worry about maybe, you're going to get stung by a jellyfish, which has only happened to me like twice. Maybe there's like a shark or some kind of thing in there that could bite you. I'm always worried about things swimming up my dick. That being said, okay? Leech's Production says, this stream is perfect chill content, bro. Thank you. Wow. And here I thought I was sucking even more than normal. but figuratively, man. Figuratively sucking is not gay. No homo. You know, there was another girl that had terrible anxiety that I sat with for hours after school to work on schoolwork with, not because she wasn't smart, but because she was so anxious about not being perfect. Can you imagine having that kind of pressure when you're young?
Yep.
And some girls are so confident, but they fake it like they're,
I just wish I had more confidence and that I could be appreciated in my body.
yeah, girl, I mean, yeah, you gotta, I appreciate you, girl, take it off, and then I'll just give you some good comments, because then that will help.
Oh, you mean, okay, like, so my body, it looks good?
Yeah, girl, I mean, take even more off.
So this is all good and this is fine? It's $50 for my OnlyFans, bitch. Ah, you didn't think I was...
What?
Can I eat this?
Why are you asking me?
Because I want to eat it. But if you...
What is it? Was it my side of the pizza?
Yes.
Go ahead and eat it. I don't care. I was like just trying to figure out why are you asking me. Like, I don't give a fuck if you eat the pizza.
Of course not, but it's your side of the pizza.
The reason that I say my side, something to just clarify, is not that we are, we I rule in this house with an iron thumb, an iron cock maybe, but a meaty iron cock. So
Ew.
the reason that I say my side of the pizza is not because we designate sides of the pizza, but we ordered a pizza earlier from Hungry Howie's because they are so fucking cheap and so delicious. We can get like a $5 2-topping pizza that, we still have to split. This is perfect for me. Okay? This is perfect. Anyway, we order a pizza from Hungry Howie's, and Dia likes garlic herb seasoning for her crust. Kyle likes Cajun seasoning for his crust. It's kind of like a peppery, obnoxious, like, don't worry about it. Sometimes if you're toasty, it's a borderline chemical reaction inside your goddamn mouth and body, man. You don't worry about it if you're not into it. But I put that Cajun seasoning on half of the pizza, so that is what she's referring to as my half of the pizza. She's probably just gonna have to eat it up to the crust if she wants it.
I tore out the crust.
You just tore the crust off. Didn't eat up to it. You really didn't want to give it a chance to think that maybe it would be eaten. Tore it off in the beginning. Let it know right off the bat that that it's not gonna be joining its buddies digested. It's gonna have to die slowly outside of your stomach in the box, ripped from its organs. So now it's just slowly crumpling in on itself and going stale. Do you know what the stalification process is like for a living piece of bread?
Don't say that.
I got the blindest legs on a block. I'm sorry, it's stupid. Number 3. We got to get out of here. Oh, no, we got to get out of here. It's too late. Jesus says, what about crocodile swimming up your pee-pee, Kyle? Can you imagine if your crocodiles could be microscopic? And then also they can grow to like dinosaur size?
True Silver Wolf.
True Silver Wolf says, erectile. How did you think that up that fast? Do you have Jew writers? Do you have funny Jew guy writers? I am Googling erectile right now to see if that's been used anywhere on the internet. Yes, it has. Ew. Oh no, but they actually meant it misspelled. Not as a pun. Someone could probably draw a crocodile that looks like a cock and balls and then call it erectile. Can I brand that? Can I make that something associated with my channel? Can I just steal that from True Silver Wolf? That's so good. It's so good that it silenced me. Like I sat down and was like, where did you get that joke? Did you write that? You know what I mean? I'm sorry. Because I always find it amusing, people who are just like, oh, that's so funny, but they don't laugh, you know what I mean? But they recognize the potential for humor, the comedy, the potential, the greatness of that joke. It's fucking refined into like a diamond, Dia. You could kill somebody with that joke. if you deliver it properly. Did you just write that, True Silver? Gotta give you credit, man. Don't lie to me. Am I taking that? I can't take that. I'm not that kind of guy. I can't just take that from you. Talk about erectile dysfunction, Dia. A crocodile swam up my dick. I'm sorry. You know, I had a kid. Number 3. I had a kid, 16. He was a total addict. Alcoholic. Meth. Pills. Heroin. A heroin addict. How does he do school? He had a really rough childhood, started smoking crack with his dad at 13 years old. What the fuck? Dia, I've never heard of somebody on heroin and crack. You can bounce back from this? You can go to school with this? No. It's yo, J Max, it's not even that it's a lot of drugs to me. It's the wrong ones. You know what I'm talking about? If you and I were to sit down right now and just take a bunch of drugs, not like take them, but if we were to acquire a bunch of drugs and separate them into categories and think to ourselves, what drugs could we take to make it so we could take the most without fucking ourselves up? We could make a pretty big stack. We could make a Scooby-Doo, you know, Shaggy fucking big sandwich of different drugs that would probably maybe it would shut off the function of half of our body, you know.
Excuse me.
What's that called? Bell's palsy?
What?
Nothing. Wonder if anybody that's ever listened to me has ever known anything about Bell's palsy or knows anybody who's had Bell's palsy. I know somebody that went crazy on the drugs, and that's exactly what happened to them. Like, they lost the function in half of their fucking face and their arm and shit like that. Fucking nuts. They are lucky. They could have died. Man, don't we all want some DMT, Kevin? You know what I mean? It's the wrong kind of drug when you know that it's like... It's essentially what LSD was the first batch. The OG batch. And I know that I sound pretentious and up my ass when I say that, but what LSD became is nowhere near as dope as that LSD they were making. And you know damn well what I'm talking about. All right. So.
Oh my goodness, YNK, I'm so sorry, but I'm glad that he's better.
YNK says my brother had it. It paralyzed his face, but it came back. He came back out of nowhere. That is so awesome and good and lucky for him. You know, I know a lot of people, Dia, who, like I said earlier, are always fronting like they're super insecure, but they're desperate for attention and they'll do and say anything to get that attention from even strangers. They don't care. You know what I mean? And I say even strangers, like, oh, like I'm not talking about like followers and clicks and retweets and likes and blogs and shit like that. I'm talking about like one-on-one attention from people where, oh, maybe I'm putting up this anonymous box and I need to hear from you guys like how hot I am, and I'm going to read all the comments, and it's going to, you know, I'm taking screenshots of it because that's what's going to get me through my days is what people think of me and shit like that. What I mean when I'm talking about this is I know some people that even though they act like they're super, you know, insecure and they don't care and they're not materialistic or, you know, basic enough to be all about their appearance, if they ever were to get something like Bell's palsy where half of their face was paralyzed, they'd probably just kill themselves. Like, no hesitation, no thought. So when he says that, you know, his brother had it and then he came out of it, it would be crazy to think of some of the people that I know, if they were to get that, if anything messed up their face, they would just lose the will to live. And the idea that something like that could potentially wear off, how crazy would that be? That they took their own life and then it could come back. You know what I mean? Sorry. Dia is sitting next to me wishing in Genshin Impact. She really wants Zhong Li, but she's like a bunch of wishes away from him. At least 20. But that's better than me because I think I'm like 40 wishes away from a 5-star. And you guys know I want Diluc, I want Mona, but I could get Keishing, and I wouldn't know what to do with that. Did I already get her? Maybe. I don't know. Stop talking about video games and finish this list.
Kitchen?
Jesus says, do you ever feel like you're having a heart attack and think to yourself, this is it? Absolutely not, Jesus. I've never felt like I was going to have a stroke. That really scares the shit out of me. What I have had in the past are headaches severe enough to where I'm thinking, I've never had this fucking bad. What the hell's wrong with me? I've had headaches where it's like, bro, I think that something could be wrong. Is this like me moments before an aneurysm? I've thought that. And sometimes I felt like tingling in my arm that extended longer than it should have been if it was just like the arm falling asleep. But when you're a man, dude, you can convince yourself of a lot of things. You know? You can convince yourself of a lot of things. So sometimes when you're lifting and then your arm starts to feel funny, you're just like, bitch, I was lifting. What it is. You know? You wake up and some part of you's bothering you and you're like, oh, I just slept funny. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Shit like that. Severe, out of nowhere head pain, you know? And sometimes it's not even like a radiating pain, which I would be like, oh, bro, this is a headache. It's like a sharp pain in a very specific area. Whether it's the temple, whether it's like the back of the head, it's like a pang. It's like a, you know what I mean? And you're like, oh my God, what the fuck's going on in there? Is this it? If it was a radiating, throbbing pain, I'd be like, bro, this is a headache. Let me find an Excedrin migraine or something. Pop that motherfucker. But nah. When it's very specific like that, you're like, oh my God. Forgive me. Just the demons, you know? Trying to exercise control, trying to get out of that one quadrant that I've locked them in the brain. They need to hang the fuck out until I decide that I have use for them, you know what I mean? I'll set them free. Set them free like the Jinchuriki inside me. Just let him come out. Yeah, hey, guys, I'm giving you my power for a while. And they're going to be like, no, we're the demons. We're the power that we're going to give you. I'll be like, no. That's not the way it works. Okay? I grant you this vessel. You know, don't fuck up the crotch area. Kevin says a little chest pain while laying in bed gets me. Oh my God. I'll be scared as hell. I can't lie about that. Did somebody say they got Zhongli at Constellation 1? What are you, a perky titty girl? Only the girls get what they want. And Dia will be getting what she wants. I'm sure of it. She just needs to actually get to the 5-star because she already got her 5-star recently. It's funny, yes, Kevin, it's fucked up that I isolate and say, I don't mean to exclude, but it's as though Genshin Impact knows the SAG percentage of the people playing it. And that, unfortunately, if the breasts sag enough, Genshin Impact considers them men. So, you know, they don't get the rolls, the drops they deserve. But again, I'm not feeding into a gacha system. I'm a grown man. Like, I love the game. I'm gonna have fun. I have more than enough heroes. I just want very specific heroes, like a punk bitch, and that's why I give a shit. But yeah, I love that I'm not being charged for the experience and can just play and have tons more story than I'd ever be able to go through, because it's almost like episodic the way that I experience it. And I feel like that's the way a video game is meant to be played. But sometimes by the end of Genshin, I'm just exhausted. I feel like when Cyberpunk comes out in the next 2 days, guys, I'm going to be playing that like I was playing Animal Crossing. Knocking out 13 hours like it's nothing. You know? Back to back. But Genshin, I play like barely an hour and a half, and I'm like, oh my God. You know? And I guess the way that the world is scaling with you really keeps your ass on your toes and makes you... It's so crazy watching you use Amber, Dia. That's another thing. Watching anybody play Genshin is fun because they don't use your team. There's so many heroes in Genshin Impact, and because you can swap between the 4, put them on interesting rotations, trigger combinations and stuff like that, I always watch Dia just use like a different group of people and how they play and how they... I don't know. You're talking about video games again, Kyle. I told you to stop, and you're doing it again. It's funny because I was talking about headaches earlier, and then I started talking about video games, which would probably give the girls trying to listen a headache.
I get enough of this from my stupid boyfriend and his fucking PS5. I'm going to burn it. I'm going to kill it.
Do you know that women, Dia, are experiencing something that most people only experience with actual children? You know? What let's call it envy with murderous intent. And it's because there have been men that have killed kids because they think the mom is giving it too much attention. There have been women who have killed kids because they think that the dad is like more in love with the child than them. Scary, right? I'm just saying. Which is scarier to you? A man killing the kid because he's jealous that it's taking up too much of your time. You know what I mean? You should be mine. You should be cooking for me. You should be laying on your back so I can give you the in and out whenever I fucking want it. I don't want you taking up time with the stupid kid. Is that scarier? Or is a woman that believes that you love that child more than her, so you're killing the kid? Which is scarier to you? For me, it's the woman so easily, bro.
No,
because
for me, it's the men, and here's why. Because you, of course, are going to love the ever-living crap out of that kid. So I wouldn't be surprised if parents go, I love my child above my spouse. And obviously, I love my spouse to death, and I would do anything for them. But my kid, I love more because they're a child, because, they came out of me or whatever, or a dad, this is, who is going to receive me, and oh my gosh, I love my fucking kid so much, versus you're paying that kid too much attention. What are you doing? Why don't you give me that attention? I need that attention more than that kid. And it's like, no, kids need attention. Kids need attention, but the fact that someone is willing to kill their kid because, you're giving my kid
I just think,
attention,
here's the thing.
horrifying.
It's truly a great question, because it's probably going to split people. There's probably a bit of a bias because of our genders and how that translates to which sex we would consider scarier.
If you had reversed it, I would have said the woman, because if you said, a woman killing...
But the woman is more prone and believable in the emotion of her being genuinely insecure enough to be challenged by this baby. Surely there could be men who feel, the mommy loves the baby more than me now, so I have to kill the baby. Yeah, but it fits like a glove, in my opinion. That may seem rude to say that, a woman just would be emotional in this regard. Maybe even hormonal, if you want to go from there. The idea that the daddy, the man, loves their child so much that they believe that they love that kid more. And I can't have that. That's against their rule. Like, it breaks something within them. The idea that he could dare love something more than me. And then the light switch flip, that it's almost like robotic in the way that
the thing is,
it's like, if he loves that kid more, then this child cannot exist. I'm going to kill that child.
Nah, because it's almost a given that you're going to love the ever-living crap out of that kid.
But remember, it's versus the man. To me, as a man, I feel like what I want is sex out of this woman, right? And if that woman is mixed up or busy with the kid, then I can't get the sex. I can't get the food. I can't have her just do whatever I want whenever I want her to. In this scenario, in my head, I view it as the baby being an obstacle and the man just getting the obstacle out of the way. all killing is wrong, all murder is wrong, regardless of the gender. I'm not diminishing the man and what he's doing here. But to me, the baby's an obstacle for the man to this thing that he wants. Whereas with the woman, Dia, it feels like it's like a subroutine in her brain where it's like, I must be the most loved. And if I am not, then everything else that is stopping that. Yes, the baby is also an obstacle for the woman, but she is just like this. You know what I mean? I guess it's no different with the man and the woman.
It's no different.
I guess it's no different.
But it's more petty. The more you described it, the more petty and horrible it was coming from a man who feels his wife is giving the child more attention.
So again, I'm asking the stream too. Is the man worse to you guys? Is the man worse because it's also like two things? I like to think of it like this. Maybe the woman, when she kills the kid, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. The father has time to be like, Jesus Christ, what have you done? And then splits. Because this is all assuming that they both react the same way and are just like, oh my God, I can't believe the type of person you are. And then they just get away from them. Let's not assume that, the man could keep her in this position even after he did this with the kid and then use her. You know what I mean? The implication is that both of them equally are just like, oh my God, you degenerate, and then leaves them. Not that, I guess the woman becomes prisoner or something. But for some reason in my brain, I just find the woman much scarier. I can't explain why. Because now that I've explained them both out loud, I realize that it is the same.
And yeah, they're the same, but to me it's a little bit more awful. The implication that this child is an obstacle to you, like oh, they're paying too much attention to that friend. I need to kill that friend because all of that attention should be towards me. It's like No, yeah,
I guess you're right. I guess you're right.
Fall in love with. This is
No. You just phrased it in a way that makes it so much more easy. In the way of these two things that I'm describing being identical. So one should not be scarier than the other logically. It may just be because of my bias as a man that I'm terrified of a woman. But one is, I'm not getting what I want, so I'm killing the baby. The other is, I'm not getting what I want, so I'm killing, potentially this person that is scoring above me. Like, if you feel more for them, then I'm going to kill them so that I am who you feel the most for. That one just so happens to be the baby in the case of the mother, because she's doing it because she is not the most loved, whereas the man is doing it because this thing is in the way of what I want from you. Just happens to be the baby.
And it's just gross.
Bruh.
Again,
Well, people do it all the time. I just think the added spice of it being a baby is the crazy part. People do it all the time with people that they are threatened by. They will go out of their way to be violent with the person. We see it all the time. Pretty much any time that there's women fighting, it's over a man. It's crazy to say, but it's true.
And the other thing that makes it a little bit less, kind of crappy is because it's probably true. That dad does love his kid more than your ass. But it doesn't diminish the amount of love that he has for you. It's just, this child just is automatically going to get
I am
more
sorry,
of that.
Everybody.
Just to the max.
I'm sorry for flying off on this tangent, because you can tell I am thoroughly interested in the psychologically terrifying...
Oh my gosh, 1K just put a good question.
Seriously, just really quickly, if you guys could ever find a story like this, where a parent, the mom, killed the kid because the dad was giving her, or him, the little kid, more attention, please forward that to me. I don't know why I find it as fascinating as I do, but I do. And YNK is saying, which death would be more violent? It depends on the person. Some deaths are just like, they're cold, they're calculated, because I like to think some people who are unstable, they make the scariest deaths, or murders, we could call them, where maybe they don't even process that what they've done is wrong. It was just something in their head that needed to happen. So when they kill, they're not even like, subtle. They're not hiding it. It's just like, oh, this is the way that this needed to be, so I took care of it. And like, they can't even process that, oh my God, people are not going to be okay with you. It's one thing when you think, oh, this is just something you have the ability to do, take another human life. But to be so oblivious that you think that you're going to get away with that if other people see it too, they're properly like unhinged. But then there's the kind of like what I call a businessman approach where it's like, the baby's gone without a trace. You won't find this baby. It'll be as if it never existed. And when you talk to them, they won't even like hide it, but they'll acknowledge, oh, that's gone now. You felt this way, so that happened.
To be honest with you, and obviously this isn't like every case, but out of the cases where, I've heard of a mom killing their kid, regardless of the initial question, just like in general, parent killing their kid, with a woman, it tends to be like smothering or drowning their kid. And the dads are like blowing up their houses and like stabbing them kids and stuff. It's just horrible. And they just tend to be a little bit more violent when it comes to the men.
My dude, jealous Ohio mom gets 37 years in prison for killing her 3 sons. 3 of them.
Oh, shit.
An Ohio woman was sentenced to 37 years in prison on Tuesday. Jesus, it's what you just said. Yeah. It's what we're both talking about coming to life. The woman suffocated her 3 boys.
That's usually how
Imagine it, Dia.
That's usually how they do it.
Yeah, that's how it's going. Suffocation, you're drowning your kids, some bullshit like that.
All that stuff.
I think it's like we talk about violence, and the thing about violence, Dia, is like I'm taking a knife and I'm slicing you from the bottom up, you know what I mean? And I'm flaying your entrails from left to right, just really making some ink blot mosaic type shit happening in this room, I'm dragging your body out to the front, chopping your limbs off and all kind of shit like that. Surely that's more violent than taking your hands and squeezing a neck until they breathe no more, right?
Or shoving them in water.
But to me, the chilling one is, like, I feel like if we were on deck watching somebody, just violently knife up and chop up somebody, much like the movies that we watch, if we were to see it in a movie, we'd be like, jeez, guy, we get it. Yikes.
He really didn't want to give a look.
Do you need us to stop you? Or what are you doing? What do you have against the house? Somebody got to clean this up, my dude. You want to kill somebody, you killed him. You killed him. He's dead. Stop. You're making a mess now. You're making a mess. What are you doing? But when you watch this motherfucker just squeeze the life out, how do you have the fucking power? A gun. Not the power like strength. The power like will. Like resolve. To push yourself to take not 1 life, not 2 lives, but 3. She didn't strangle all these kids at the same time. She didn't drown all these kids. She didn't attach some rocks to these motherfuckers and go drop them in the ocean. You know what I mean? It's not one decisive thing. It's multiple different murders sequentially. And in her brain, you just know they have to not exist now. My husband loves them more. That cannot be. 1 down, 2 down. Now I will murder my last son. An Ohio woman was sentenced to 37 years in prison. Not even life, bro. They threw life at my ass. They throwing life at people for fucking around with a small amount of weed, my dude. Maybe they get caught in the wrong place. Maybe they got caught with just enough for them to throw some sort of, oh, bro, you were going to distribute this. What?
Not really.
This bitch killed her own kids, 3 of them, and she's only going away for just under 4 decades. Not life? Weird. She killed 3 of her kids because she was jealous of the attention that the husband was giving.
See? Attention is more scary than...
Ooh, she got a plea deal. That's why the sentence is lower than I would like for it to be. Ooh, wow. I don't know where this happened. It says Ohio, but the death penalty was on the table. She avoided the death penalty. The death penalty for the 3 separate killings. Oh, wait a minute.
Oh my.
Why does it say began?
That means that she had 3 boys throughout the years and killed each one. So she had 1 boy, and then she killed them. And then she had another boy, and then she killed them.
After the second murder of your own, child.
Why do you stay with this person?
Here's the funny thing, Dia. If I'm really gonna talk, I don't want this to be like the endless stream where Kyle's like hires and now here's my point. Don't you ever think like, okay, you and I live the kind of shut-in lives where, yeah, we have friends that we talk to, but we don't have people that are so close to us that we see on a daily basis that are maybe like coworkers, maybe we're church people, maybe our family is so close that if we were to have a kid, right, maybe there'd be a couple pictures on social media, but we wouldn't be trying to throw the kid in everybody's faces. If something happened to the kid, it would probably be years before somebody asked questions. You know what I mean? But I think if even we, as antisocial as we are, had a kid, people would know about it. People would want to keep tabs on it. So say we have a kid and that kid dies. That kind of sucks. Say we have another kid, like have him. He's out, he's living, everything's fine. And then he dies. That's when people are scratching their heads going, bitch, something wrong with y'all? Maybe y'all should stop. Y'all should figure out what's going on, get some tests. You know what I mean? The third kid, though, Dia. Now, the reason that I brought up whether or not you or I are antisocial or our social media like footprint is to say some people will not stay off social media with their kids. So the second that they would stop just dumping pictures of their stupid children, the only fucking people on the internet who are interested in your kids are fucking creeps. I don't know why people are dumping pictures of their kids online so often. Yeah, you want to share with your family, fine. Yeah, you want to make like memories for this kid to see. Yeah, I don't need to put as much of this bullshit out there. Show naked ass kids because you know that they're getting views from degenerate scumbags. You're nasty. Oh my God, I hate the internet. Long story short, those kids couldn't get away with not existing for a second without people knowing. Yeah. So, Dia, the idea that 3 kids, I think that something should have been amiss after the second one. You know? Okay. You know why? Because it's somebody's fucking job when something dies to look them over.
The thing is, if she suffocated, because there have been cases where moms unfortunately put a pillow over their babies' faces, and there is a syndrome where unfortunately some babies just suddenly die, and they just die.
Yeah, it's sudden infant death syndrome.
So if it's a baby, you could get away with it for a bit, saying that, oh, my baby had this, and that's why. Because if you leave no marks on this child, then you could easily get away with something like this because you can just blame it on sudden infant death syndrome. And, you're good. But if it's, children who are walking around and, they're, 2-3 years old, obviously you can't just blame that on that. But if you do it young enough, you could potentially get away with it. So that may have been the case as to why, no one really...
I wasn't going to read this, Dia, because it's just grim.
It's just
from yeah, I mean, people can see it if they're looking at the screen. It says that this woman, the mother, suffered mental defects from years of physical and sexual abuse.
Okay.
And was arrested in 2015 for the death of her 3-month-old baby, Noah. Which means that they knew that this kid had been fucking hurt.
Yep.
She admitted in an interview with prosecutors to using blankets to suffocate Noah and her 2 other sons, 4-year-old Gavin, who died in April, 3-month-old Neil, who died in 2014. Oh my God. Over 2 years, she killed 3 kids.
Oh.
Bro.
I will say that.
Mother kills child in jealous rage, texts the father video of dead son. Your kids ain't safe here. I don't want them here. So you better pray for your kids. I'm killing them. Yo.
That's more horrifying than anything you could ever describe.
Listen. The scenario I described earlier with the girl killing the kid because they're jealous and want the attention more, and the guy killing the kid because he demands the full-time attention and commitment so that he can use or have the woman, wait on him hand and foot. They're both identical. But as usual, call me a misogynist because I'm the worst with women as much as I love them. I will always believe that women are scarier in general. And that I don't think we're ever going to see something as terrifying as this screenshot right here. You know what I mean? I'm sure guys will do it. I'm sure guys have done it, but it's like, Dia. Because guys are bitches too, Scenarios where they're kissing the ass of the girl, they're doing anything, they're doing everything for them. And the girl just don't want them. That's just the way that it is. And then they snap. They have their rising up moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. We're so close to the end of this list and I can't even keep it together. So listen, I had a kid who was 16 years old, total addict. Alcohol, meth, pills, heroin. Dia, I think I'm hungry. Here's what I want you to do for me, please. And I apologize in advance. I'm asking that you put this in the air fryer. Do you think you can do this for me?
Pass it to me.
Pass what to you?
The air fryer thing. Once I get
Okay, I see it. Sorry. So, all you have to do is 325 for 3 minutes. Okay? Thank you very much. I apologize, stream, for anticipating that I'd be hungry by the end of this list, so I'm asking Dia to, And if you go out there and you plop a baby out and make me jealous,
Stop.
Then I'm gonna...
Horrible. Pass me the box.
Those are massive, Dia. I don't think I've ever seen you wear something like this. What the fuck?
Wear something like this.
It's funny because from the front it looks like you're wearing something, but then from the back, Woo! Shut up. You're on a... Number 3. I had a psychic. Yeah, what's that what it says? I had a kid, 16. Ooh, boy, that's dyslexia. I had a kid, 16 years old. He was a total addict, alcoholic, meth, pills, heroin, really rough childhood. Started smoking crack with his dad at age 13. Stepdad committed suicide. Oh, no, it's not funny. It's just fucking... It just gets worse and worse. Started smoking crack with his dad at 13 years old. Stepdad committed suicide in front of him at age 14. Just unimaginable shit in between. He'd come to school high or drunk, and he would send him home. We would send him home. Nice kid, always respectful, just had a good soul. One day, he was all sorts of messed up, and I pull him aside. I told him that I loved him and was worried that if he kept this lifestyle up, that he would more likely be dead by 30. He freaked out, ran to the principal's office, and complained that I just told him that I loved him and cared about him. The principal said, well, maybe he loves you and cares about you. We kicked him out of the school after we had to. He got sober. He came back to track me down. He grabbed me and started sobbing. He said that when I said I loved him, it was the first time an adult had said that to him, and he believed it. He stayed sober for years, went to a college, and is doing really well. You're such an idiot. I've been rolling up the volume scroll on this background track only now realizing that it was muted. Seraphim Bear says, what happened? I fell asleep. I came about $400 close to the PlayStation 5. Only $400 more to... I'm kidding. I love you guys. Oh, the real problem with the PS5 is where is it? You know?
Our mini space shuttle will be ready in 3 minutes.
Is there a Band-Aid on you?
No? Why?
Hmm.
Now I'm wondering, where did you see the Band-Aid?
As we continue up to number 2, one of my students told me as a child she wanted to grow up to be a strawberry and then cried when she realized she couldn't because she was a human being. Very sweet girl. Well, today you can be whatever you want to be. I'm dead serious. And all you have to do, if you want to be something else, hey, you know what? Somebody give me money because I'm about to fucking blow your mind. Okay? Not being what you want to be, bruh, that's for your parents' generation, bro. You can be whatever you want to be. It doesn't matter if it's possible or not. People must respect what you identify as. So it's as easy as you making a Twitter account if you don't already have it, going to your bio and typing what you are into that bio. That's what you are. You want to type strawberry there? Boom. That's what you are. Start working on that avatar. Maybe you get like somebody to just make you a digital avatar that like talks when you speak. And then you can just have that do all of your talking for you. Never leave the house again. It talks when you speak. It moves its mouth when you speak to simulate that it is the one speaking. That can be who you are now. If we were further into the future, you could be inside a tank and just lived through that thing, and it would holographically, or maybe even have, let's say like a robot or an android that looks identical to the avatar that you have created. And you could walk that around in real life. You could be the strawberry you've always wanted to be. The future is effectively going to be VR chat, but for real. You know, we're in an apparatus, and I get to walk around and just look like Tony the Tiger and go about my day and do my job and stuff like that. That's what the future is. The future is VR chat. I'm trying to tell you guys, you can be what you want to be. Just put it into your Twitter bio. Put it in your Twitter bio. And if anybody has anything to say about it, that's bullying. And that won't be tolerated. No bullies. Only peace and love. And Kamala Khan. I fucking love it. That's what I'm talking about. So number 2. One of my students grew up and realized that they couldn't be something, but I feel like even the last 3 words is kind of like a, what would you call it, Dia?
Like a pun? No,
like a hats off, like a wink to say, you can't be a strawberry, but you can be, you know? Very sweet girl, Dia. I ordered ice cream for tomorrow, Dia. I didn't know that they'd be such a hit with you, Dia. How do you feel about me emphasizing a word when we're speaking, Dia? Is it starting to get annoying, Dia?
No, I'm beginning to get scared.
Does it make you want to use the bathroom, Dia?
What?
What gender is this strawberry, Dia? All right, it's not funny. M&M's, sorry, cookie. Damn, you'll find it. You'll find it if you just keep. There it is. M&M's, cookie, ice cream, sandwich.
I showed it to one of my streams and they said that it looked good.
You ate one of these on stream? You are such a little cam girl. I need to get you back to early Dia. Then you could just take over the internet and I won't have to work. Not that I would want you to be the one that's making any money and the breadwinner. Not that I would need you to be the breadwinner, but yeah. OG Dia, man, That's like a lot of people's fantasies. Would I extend you out to the world as like fantasy bait? That they could just view you as like their little Native American, their little Mexican, oh, my personal maid. Would that be overkill? I get you a maid outfit? You know what I mean?
People would probably enjoy the shit out of it.
And then you go,
I'm sorry I missed the spot, mister.
sorry, fucking terrible. But you're playing. But here's the thing. You've heard me make the point before that I believe that racism has led to a lot of people getting some very, good jobs. Unfortunately, in the entertainment industry, which is a much realer industry than, like we're making a movie where we need an ugly person in a role. We are casting an ugly person, and ugly people are going to show up knowing that their ugliness is what's going to literally make it so that they have a better chance of scoring this role. There's no sugarcoating. There's no politeness. You know what I mean? It's about as static as most productions because you need the talented people. It ain't no woke, oh, they black, they in a wheelchair, they're Muslim, so they're going to get this position. It's like, we're making music for this fucking movie. You can't play your instrument worth a damn. We're not picking you because, you have different hair or weirder political beliefs. We're picking you based on how well you play this instrument. We're picking you based on how well cast you are. So Dia, as it goes back to, unfortunately, racism making a couple of, let's just say job opportunities for some people. You know how often I listen to Danny Trejo as Mexican character in any like voiceover type thing, you know what I mean? And to basically get that much work, Danny Trejo's probably been in hundreds of different like animated things where he's just the Mexican, and he's really playing up that, what are you talking about, man? He doesn't speak like that. But he knows that that's what the people want. And he's willing, Dia, to be the figurative Nicolas Cage as long as it's going to get him work. In this regard, racism has made a job for this dude. And I'm not saying that, it's making jobs for everybody and it's a good thing. I'm just saying some people owe their success to the fact that people are racist. And that, they have all this suppressed bullshit. Nobody's gayer than a gay man that's been pretending to be straight. You know what I mean? They've got some repressed shit. And nobody is into ethnic women more than the people who wage these crusades against these ethnic women. They go home, Dia. They whip off them pants. They get that lotion, that oil, and they just beat it. The straight Mexican BBWs, man. Freaking maids and all kind of crap. So, I just think it's messed up. You know what I mean? That, strangely these days, it seems that the most popular genre of porn is like this borderline incest bullshit with stepbrother. But it's okay because it's step, Dia. You know what I mean? Because it's step, brother. Linda says, can we take the ice cream off the screen? It's making me want some. Now, this stream is not brought to you in part. Hey, I kind of want to try the chocolate one.
There's a chocolate one?
I didn't know! You'd want the chocolate one better? Listen, guys, the reason that I even started talking about this was because I decided to try this from the grocery store the other day. And by I decided to try, I mean Dia ate them all. But they were for her. I got them for her so that she would try it and see if she liked it. And oh my God, she clearly did, bro. But I didn't know there was a chocolate one. I think I would probably enjoy this one better, but I might enjoy the cookie better if it was like brownie-like, which I feel like it must because it's an ice cream sandwich.
It just crumbles in your mouth.
Yeah, but they're just cookies. Oh, you just like it when it crumbles in the mouth, Dia?
No, they're very soft. They're like sugar cookies.
I can't be soft and hard at the same time, so I can't appeal to what you want crumbling in your mouth. I'm sorry. I guess I'm just gonna go into the room with the baby with this knife. I'll be back. And then the baby noise.
That's no. Why
Is
would
it dark?
you do that?
It's kinda
That's
dark.
Too dark.
Like, it really was going to take you a minute to realize that that's what I was going in the room to do. Okay, you guys want this off? Fine. It's not like it's going to erectile. This was a wild stream, boy. Number 1 on this list. Finally, at long last, okay? At long last. I taught math to 5... No, stop. I taught math to 5th and 8th graders. I had a student who did very well, always pleasant, helped others, etc. I began to think about him more and more when I noticed a pattern in his clothes that he wore. The clothes were nice, basic, clean, so I just shrugged it off. It had just turned into the holiday season that year, about a week or so before Thanksgiving, and one evening I had to run back to school to pick up my car, and I had went out with some fellow instructors. As I was preparing to leave, I noticed activity near the dumpsters and saw him digging through the dumpsters, pulling out food scraps from the cafeteria. My heart sank about 1,000 feet. I didn't know what to do. If I were to go up to him, he'd know I knew, and I just didn't know how he would react. I spoke with a colleague of mine who knew a social worker. The family had suffered the loss of his dad about 2 years ago, and now his mom was battling cancer. Holy shit, man. You try to believe in something higher and in the divine, something more, something after this when we die. But you see shit like this and you wonder, holy shit, man. And is it all just dice rolls and, somebody's born somewhere where they're not even going to survive a day before a bomb drops, Shit like that, but is the idea that somebody just created this and stepped back like, bruh, made a Sims world today, completely autonomous. I'm not touching anything in there. Let them do what they do. We're going to see where this is going. I'm not touching anything. Bro, he's making the expensive meal instead of that cheap one. They're going to spend all the... Don't do it, man. Don't even get involved. I don't know why it's costing him money to use things that are already in the fridge. What the hell is this? Why is it blurring them out when they sit on the toilet? Show me the toilet. Show me the man on the toilet, damn it. I gotta download mods for my IRL Sims game. Ugh. Hey, I downloaded this mod today. Nuclear weapons. Watch this. Bro. Downloaded this mod today. Fucking pandemic. I'm just gonna... Bro, how do you think I get it everywhere fastest? Bro, put it in that China place, dude. That place is crazy. I don't know why so many of them are bunching up there. It's gotta be a glitch, man. Gotta be a bug.
It's more like
some kind of bug. Too many Chinese over there in this game. Weird.
Like disasters.
Catastrophe. Cataclysm.
Catholic
Church.
No, just like a bunch of bad things happening.
Cataclysms,
DLC,
yeah.
Like cataclysms, DLC, and it's just like, hey, what will happen if I push this like alien button? I wonder what that is.
Bro, downloaded this mod, makes everybody throw cigarettes in really really dry areas. Oh, that's the Desert of Fire. Yeah. Pretty cool new area.
Desert of Fire.
This game finally got... I remember there were dinosaurs. What happened to them? This was all one landmass, right? Maybe this is happening for in a matter of minutes for them watching the game from the top. We're just ants going by and fast. He would probably stop it if he could. Oh, god damn, that happened so fast. So many people infected. YNK says, ideally chocolate cookie vanilla filling. Oh, yes. There's the cream filling. Now that's the stuff. Hostess. After what felt like a night of this thing losing its mind. Holy shit, we didn't finish the entry. I talked with a colleague of mine who knew a social worker. The family had lost the dad 2 years ago and the mom was battling with cancer. To say that they were hanging on by a thread would be an understatement. But the kid hid this from everyone as far as we knew. Finally, we knew we had to do something, so we all waited one evening, and sure enough, he returned. He was scared, ashamed, crying, angry, every emotion that you could think of. I do not blame him. We took to his home, and his mom was emotional too. We ordered hot food, and a colleague went and got it. We all spent many hours that evening talking and reassuring him that we were there to help. Working with local resources, we got them the help they needed, food, medical assistance, even local volunteers to come help with some chores around the house. The mom got better, thankfully. And the bright young man continued to do well in school and got a scholarship for college when he graduated a few years later. This was 20 years ago. Damn, motherfucker. Today, that bright young man works as a mechanical engineer and is still as generous and considerate as he ever was. And his name, Albert Einstein. Son of a bitch. Why do I always have to turn it into that? And his name, Dia, was Albert. His mother sadly passed away on around 10 years ago. All three of his former teachers from that night went to the funeral. I'm very proud of him. We still keep in touch and we visit often. A heartwarming story about another guy persevering through some pretty crazy shit. To be honest, man, the part where everybody helped them, that was awesome. I think the tragedy of the lives that we lived even before all of this pandemic is that I don't know if it's pride. You know what? It's not pride. If it were our parents' generation, it would be pride. You know, maybe as men, we have a little bit of pride, but not enough pride that we won't ask for help when we genuinely need it. You know, we're not going to feel like we're having a heart attack to the point where we're on the ground and curled up in the fetal position and not call the police because we don't want to, call the ambulance because we don't want to bother anybody. We don't bother people with our bullshit. Like if we're struggling, if we need help, if, things are getting tough, if maybe we don't have enough for this bill or that bill, we're not going to get up and bother other people because they have their own shit that we assume they're going through. And in the same way that we respect other people enough in the hopes that they won't burden us because they must be going through things, but they're not burdening us with it. We're trying to do the same. We're not trying to impose. I think that's what would stop a lot of us from asking for help. But yeah, this was a situation that was just completely above this child's capacity. And that's another thing is when you ask for help, sometimes you get a bit of judgment. And they don't even judge based on what is really going on. They judge only based on what they see. So you're asking for help and they're saying things like, oh, well, look at you. You shouldn't even be needing help. You're supposed to be working. You're supposed to be doing more. You're supposed to be doing this. You're not disabled. You don't have kids. You don't have this. You don't have that. You know what I mean? But even when judgment is on the table, in this scenario, this is just a kid. He couldn't have handled all of this shit. Pretty fucked up. Yeah. Oh my God. So as we wrap this all up, wait a minute, I didn't mean to go into my thing. Roughly the first 5 seconds. They could change that video? Or did we just get Rickrolls? This may be the most creative Because I didn't have the sound on, so I'm not sure it counts. But this may be the most creative Rickroll that's ever happened. Guys, I was silent because I was reading it because I was about to actually get mad. Dia, listen to this. The first 5 seconds of Never Gonna Give You Up is now a silent Sony title card that displays the licensing and copyright information, which ruins the Rickroll. What this person means for us to believe is the first 5 seconds of this video now show you, oh, this is the song by Rick Astley, blah, blah, blah. So that ruins the Rickroll. We would almost have to modify the URL so that it skips a couple seconds in before we give it to anybody. Because if we just send them the link to this video, it won't open up right onto the song. It ruins it. But then when you actually click the fucking video, my dude, it's just the Rickroll. Shut up, you son of a bitch.
They did it.
I think this may be the most creative Rickroll I've seen in a long time. You son of a bitch. He got us. But Dia, what I applaud him on is the moments it took for me to go, wait a minute. Because, you know what I mean? It's a lot of layers. Let me please read this to you one more time. That counts as a gross noise, you son of a bitch. That counts. I'm sorry, everybody. Let me read this to you one more time, and I'll tell you everything that was going through my mind, okay? It said, roughly the first 5 seconds of Never Gonna Give You Up is now a silent Sony music title card that displays licensing information and copyright. So what I was thinking first, because when as a YouTube douche, whenever I see the word copyright, I freak out. And I was thinking to myself, oh, motherfucker, are you saying that the first 5 seconds can get us all struck now of the Rickroll of all things? But then I just, I digested it better and read it properly, the way that it actually is written. And it's saying, no, the beginning of this video is now a title card. And I'm like, they have the power to edit videos that have been around forever and been watched like, that's like some Star Wars, special edition bullshit where you're CGIing things into the video. Why would you change the video to put a title card in the beginning? Were you trying to stop people from getting Rickrolled? Is this like a new warning? Why would you ruin the internet by thinking you could do something like that? It would really be something worth getting nerd outraged about. This is my Rickrolling. You have no reason to touch it. It's culturally relevant. It's in the zeitgeist. You can't ruin this. Blah, blah, blah.
It's either two things.
What?
Old people being old people, or SJWs being SJWs.
Yeah, we're just ready to wage a war, is my point. If they changed my fucking Rickroll, how dare you? Who do you think you are? What is the purpose? Is your intent genuinely to ruin future Rickrolls? Leave it alone. Let the people have what they want. We're already ready to make a whole video series about how outraged we are. You know what I mean? But of course you have to click the video to see for yourself. It is a link to the video after all, Dia. It's a link to the video right here. Look for yourself. The new 5 seconds of this bullshit is a title call. And it essentially ruins the Rickroll. Shut up. I hurt myself. The title call. Okay. But then you click it and no, it's normal. It's fucking normal. What a roller coaster, Dia. What a roller coaster. The best part of this is that everyone intentionally opened up the song and still got caught off guard. It's like it makes me feel like such a finely polished knob of a broomstick handle. Just a real sucker. You know? He got me.
He got a bunch of people.
We got this day.
Part. And that's the magical, beautiful part about this whole thing, is that he got a bunch of
This person says this is the first time they didn't fall for it. I feel empowered. I don't know. This person says, I told my wife how I figured it was a Rickroll, and wasn't going to fall for it. She asked me if I knew why did I still click the link. Oh man, what kind of monster mixes this kind of thing together? Ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to join not only my Discord, but why don't you come on over to twitch.tv/KL. You see that bar at the bottom of the screen? That one that's almost purple? I believe that together we can make that all purple. Yeah, follow me down, follow me hard. Because soon we're going to be chasing shards of the Shikun jewel. But I should have phrased it so it ended with shard. Right, Dia? That's not rhyming. Guys, I love you. Hey! Northcast, I really appreciate that. You know? Thank you for this follow. That brings me so much closer. It makes me feel so special. I was starting up Genshin, and I need to not right now. I need to not. I didn't even mean to hold you guys here for 2 hours and 20 minutes, Dia. What the fuck? I will see you guys later. How? Yo, I must have been out of my mind.
Yes.
I was out of my mind?
You just kept going on and on about the hypothetical between the two parents. That's
What was that, like an hour?
probably.
No. Dia, why doesn't anyone tell me?
Because people like it.
No. People must have left. They must have just left. Oh no. Oh my god. Why did I go on so long about it then? People need to start saying something. You know? I need people to start I want them to go, I can tell. You know what I mean? And I'll be like, oh no.
Linda and True Silver Wolf want that bug snacks.
You're right. I should play Bug Snacks, but you know what's really gonna happen?
You're gonna fall asleep.
Cyberpunk's gonna end up coming out, and then what we're gonna do? What are we gonna do then, bro? I love you guys. Have a fantastic night. Thank you. What?
When does it go live?
What?
When does it go live? Does it go live exactly at midnight?
When?
Today.
Okay.
Or I guess later today, I should say. Like.
Hold on. Let me look it up. When does Cyberpunk go live? It launches December 10th. So maybe it's the 10th for someone somewhere in the world. What is 12 a.m. GMT in my time? Let's find out. December 10th, 12 a.m. GMT. Oh, which is December 9th at 7 p.m. tonight. I got some tests to run when I wake up earlier. When I wake up early today to make sure that everything's going to stream out in sexy quality. Because I get overloaded encoder in OBS right now. And it's fucking bizarre because, you know, I have a damn, like, 2070. What's really going on? Holy shit. Yeah, if you try to load up Cyberpunk, you see what it says?
Oh, that's so cute.
It says go back to sleep, samurai. It's not December 10th yet. Hey. Does it have sound? I don't think it even has sound. They should have given us like an old school key generator. Shut up and end the stream. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, we're gonna be here.
Yeah. Another hour. Okay, bye. Love you. Have a great night. Enjoy my food. What food?
The one that I put in the.
Oh, thank you. Yes. All right. Thank you, Linda. Take it easy. See you guys soon. You know, blah, blah, blah. Love you, Y&K. You're a hero. Man, let me know what you guys are looking for Christmas. And we'll go from there. Bye. Have a great night, Kevin.